Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a landing page wireframe using the simple and free tool given by Google Drawings. It's called Google Drawings. So, among copywriters, two most famous tools basically that I've heard a lot of. One of them is Balsamic, and here's a tutorial by Joel Kletke, how you can use Balsamic to wireframe your landing page, your homepage copy. And the other one is Photoshop, and here's a tutorial by Joanna Weave, how you can use Photoshop to, wireframe your page. But both of these are paid. For Photoshop, it's a paid tool. Balsamic, it's a SaaS tool, and you have to pay for that as well. Google Drawings is free of cost, and basically you can use the same structure that is behind everything from a Google Doc and Google Slides and stuff like that. So you can share comments, you can share live with your clients. It's very easy to do. Let's do that. I haven't made any change to this document that you can see here, except one change. When you open a new Google Drawings document, the size is very small. I have changed that to, let me show you, page setup. Show you how you do that. You go to File, and you click it, and there you find page setup. You click page setup, and you find the size. It's in centimeters, 34 by 0.4 by 291. So you apply that. I've already applied that, so I cancel that. Then you go to your sheet here, and you press Control right. I'm sorry, your right button on your mouse, and there you get the option to pick a background. So you can pick gray or light gray. I always pick white. Once you have done that, now you have to go about making your wireframe. The most important thing to remember here is that you're doing this with 50% zoom. If you pick 100%, it would be a page this big, and that's how it should look basically when you are done, finishing it. But for the purpose of doing it, we would do that with 50% zoom. So let's first make our hero section. And since it's a landing page, I'm going to make it a full width header. How you do that? You go to Insert, right? And you click that, and then you go to Shape, and then you go to Shapes, and then you pick a shape that you like. Definitely, we're going to make a box for our header section. So I pick a box. I picked a box, and here, let me make one. All right. Change the color to white. So this is the first thing, your hero section box. If you take a look at this wireframe from Joanna Weave, this is how this one was also made. But this is a different tool, so everything won't be the same way. Now, once we have made this big box for header, we're going to draw these lines that would definitely explain our intent to our client's designer. You see, a copywriter has to wear many hats, and one of them is is the head of a designer, a graphic designer, a web page designer. I'm sorry, and you do that to show the design intent, so they know how the design is supposed to support copy. There you can see I simply wrote two lines with the help of this tool, the line tool. And here you would add a little text to show what kind of background and heading should go here. So we would go to Insert, click Insert, then we would click on Text box, and let's put text here. make it here. Okay. I'm typing here. Let me increase the size because again the setting is 50%, so it's too small. Actually, let's not do that. Because if we change it to 100%, that's how it would appear, right? An image to show a group of nerdy people nerding out process or something, anything. You're going to give instructions to the designer, right? And after that, you're going to add another text box. I'm back to 50% zoom. So I'm going to add another text box. I'll go to insert, I'll go to text box. And here we are going to write down the headline, right? Let's pick a bigger font. So there's a headline. There's a sub headline. Let's make it a little bit smaller. It's too small. There you go. Right? So something like this. And once you have done that, you would come to the body part. For that, you would again make a box. And if you have been using PowerPoint or any tool like that, you would actually feel, you would be very quick to pick things and you would be very quick to learn how to use Google Drawings because it's very similar to that one. So we're going to insert another box here. I would go to insert, I would go to shape, I would go to shapes, and I would pick a box. And this is not a full width page down here. The header is full width, but page here, our designers, I don't know, but they call this. So this is going to be in the center. It's not full width. Let's make it just as big as you want. All right. Stop here for now. And again, because the color is blue by default, you would do it, make it white, and then you would it would appear like this. But I want this to be I want this part to be on top. So I would, but since I added this box later, this would appear on top of this one, which is not how I want it to be. So I would go to, I would click this, I pick this, then I go to arrange. Make sure you can see that. Click arrange, then you go to order, and then you go to send backwards. Second, didn't work. There you go, send to back. So now I intend to add a crosshead here. So I would leave a little bit white space here. And right after that, I would start making boxes, image and text boxes for pattern interrupt, the style that you notice on almost every website. And here's you do that. Here's how you do this. The same way you go to insert, you go to shape, you go to shape, you go to pop. What we're going to do is basically make a box like this one, except this is a rectangular box, and now we're going to make a square box right here. Okay. Something. See, this red line shows that I'm right in the center of this body box. So here's where I would stop. Change the color, then I will draw a line tool. You pick a line, and it's your first one. That's your second one. I'm going to show you how to do this in a more quicker and simpler way. but that you can only do once you have made something first. So we didn't have a small square box like we have now. We won't have to make it again, we'll simply copy it. But let's just make another box, and that's our text box. Again, you would go to insert and then you would click on text box. And then you would move the pointer to where you want to put that box. It's here. And I would say stop this here, stop this here, add text, team. Let's say I want to be this in the middle of this, bold. That's your headline, and then your text. And that's it. But before we go to simply copy pasting boxes, we have to make one more, because pattern interrupt, it suggests that if your first image is on the left side, when you go down to the second section, the image should be on left side and text should be on right side. I'm sorry, image should be on right side and text should be to the left side, right? So I would copy this thing, and I would then copy this box. This is one box, so it's very simple. I would just click this. I would do Control C. I would do Control V. You can see there's another box. I would pick this box and I would adjust this. Here it shows it's right in the center of this thing. I would drop this here, but this thing is complex. If you try to Control A, this thing, you would, sorry. If you press Control A, you would pick all of these boxes and lines and text and whatnot. If you try to avoid that and you start copying this thing only, you can see this blue square. It does not touch or cover anything else. But when I would leave it, it would select everything else everything including this. It would select everything on this sheet. So I don't want this to do this. How you would avoid doing that? Press Shift and keep pressing it, keep it pressed, and then click the first thing that you want to pick. Then you click the second thing, that's the box, and then you click the line 2. As you can see, and now you don't want to click anywhere because you would lose all these settings. This is kind of tricky to you. You have selected the box, you have selected the lines. This whole thing is ready to be copied and pasted in. So I copy, Control C, then Control V. You can see another box has been created. That's that. Okay, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to move this box to wherever I want it to go. It's thinking tricky at times. Okay. I move it right here. Sorry for that. Apparently, it takes some practice and time to perfect the art of grouping all these things on Google Drawings. I would go to arrange, I would go to order, and I would send it to back. That didn't work out. Sorry. Okay. Just there, get this thing, this. I'm just simply Control Xing and Control Ving all these things. This thing is ready now. Here, press Shift. I selected this, then I selected this line, then I selected this line, and this is grouped now, and I'm moving it here. I know it might appear to be a very tedious, very difficult job, but it's again all about practice. Okay, so I made two boxes. and this complete box, a box of text and a box of image. Definitely, since you are writing copy and you're telling your intent to the designer, you have to add text here and say something like, for example, I don't know what headline or text you're going to put here. It can be any product, it can be an e-commerce product or a SaaS product, or it could be a service page, a coach, and an entrepreneur. It could be anything. So what you would simply say is, I mean, when you would making that landing page, image that aligns and that supports the text. That's what I'm saying here. But you have to give some proper instruction to let them know the kind of image they have to select from the stock library. So I would Control C and Control V, the same thing here. I move it here. This is it, right? Now I can just, select all these boxes one by one and Control C and Control V them. I would press Shift and keep it pressed. I select the box. I select the text box, select line 1, line 2, and this bingo. You can see this wireframe, sort of wireframe. It tells you that all these things have been selected. Control C this, Control V this, move it downwards. Move it down to this place here, and you have to make sure that the distance is the same as you added before. There you go. I would do the same thing with this set of boxes. Press Shift key, then start pressing the objects. All of them are selected. Control C, Control V. Unfortunately, the grouping, unlike in case of other tools, including PowerPoint, grouping does not last for a long time. It would only last for a while. As soon as you click something, it would be lost. So you have to be very careful while doing this. Again, it takes practice. There you go. The same thing here, the same thing here. This thing is, to support pattern interrupt. And I would have to increase the size of the page. I want to add my CTA here. But before I do that, let's do one more thing. You must have seen those big side-to-side boxes which are used for testimonials or important details. I'm going to make a box like that. I would go to Insert, and then I would go to where's that Shapes, big box. This time you can pick a different type of box, and I'm going to do this. There. Change the color to white, and in case you want to put text in this box and nothing else, just double click on it, and you can see the cursor here. It's here, bold, uh, excuse me, testimonial, right? This box is for a testimonial, a big testimonial from some well-known, authority figure in your business. You put that here. Now in this section, I want the CTA. So depends on how you want to, make the button and all other things. For example, you can go to Insert, Shapes. Let's try something different here. For example, okay. For example, this looks more like a bird. You can leave it colored to give it a proper look of a landing page, or you can, since we're doing it black and white, you can change the color like we did before. In here, you can add a CTA, whatever you want it to be. By now, for example. And here we would like some text, like you would recap a lot of things. That's copy detail, not design detail. So let's do it here. I would basically add two text boxes. One here, Control C, Control V, another one here. In this one, you would do the recap of offer, one or two small, in terms of words, testimonials, why they should give a damn, anything like that. In this part, we can do, your guarantees, your satisfaction guarantee, or refund stuff like that. The normal usual CTA practices. Now, if you take a look at this thing, this is apparently a small wireframe for a small landing page. You can make a big page. You see how big the size is. I picked a very big size for a page. I mean, it could take a big sales page. So there is no limit. You can take any size here. And you can take a look here. Let's zoom 100%. And let me show you this. So an image to show a group of nerdy people learning out some process. So you can change it to simply making a wireframe. I'm showing you a wireframe, so it could simply be image to support text, something like that. But when you would be writing for your designer, this is a headline would replace a real headline. There would be a real sub-headline. You might even want to put a CTA in this box here as the practice goes. In most of the cases, it should be there. It's a good idea. Okay, I forgot to insert the crosshead here, text box, click here, bring it here, and here goes our cross. Okay. Crosshead. So it could be anything that you want to say. Basically, mainly in most cases, it should be your unique value proposition. So then you have an image and you have supporting text. Then you have, then you have text and supporting image. Same case here, same case here. Then you go to a big testimonial, side to side kind of thing. And then you go to your CTA part, and that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. So you see that in no time, you can do this. You can learn it, and then you would definitely, it's a wax on, wax off kind of thing. Then you would be doing it in a shorter time span. So you can do this, or you can, consult to these two tools. These are paid tools, Balsamic or Photoshop, and you can use them to make wireframes. This is it for now. I would soon be back with another video. Till then,